Hey, Celeste here, and I am joined by Austin Galante and Douglas Montoya. And I'm really excited about this today because they're filmmakers that are working on a new project that sounds really interesting. So I wanted to talk to them about. Yeah, so your new movie that you're kind of finishing up and getting out there is called Sweet Killing Machine, right?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
And it's spelled Suite, sweet, like not Sweet.
That's also right. Austin, do you
Yes.
want to tell us why?
Yes, I'm curious about this.
Well, the whole most of the movie takes place in a hotel suite. So, very punny.
Clever. It's so yeah, this is kind of like an art house crime caper comedy, is how you kind of described it to me, and that sounds so fun. So, why would you describe it that way?
Well, it's a little bit on the artsy side, I suppose. But it's got a fair amount of humor in it, and it's a crime caper. It mostly takes place in a hotel suite. And yeah, so I just put all those things together.
Well, that makes sense. You're the person that wrote this, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So, what inspired it?
Uh, well, that's a long story. Um, so I was hanging out with a friend, and he asked me if I wanted to go with him and Doug to a hotel room and just film some random stuff. And I said, how about if we write something and like actually like film something that's planned out? And he was like, yeah, let's do that. So that's kind of how it started.
Okay. So how quickly did you write this then?
It took me 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's
Which
pretty
is
fast.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really fast.
Yeah.
And how
It's
long is the movie?
it's an hour and 11 minutes.
So you were able to write quite a lot in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean it was sort of a like, well, hey, let's do this. And then I sat down and started writing and basically sat down and wrote for, you know, 5 or 6 or 7 hours a day for a couple weeks. And as I was going, I mean, it was originally going to be a short, but then I had kind of just like developed enough story there that I was like, hey guys, are you all right with doing a full feature? And they said yes. So here we are.
That's cool. Is this your first film?
Yeah, that's definitely my first feature film. Yeah.
Wow. So have you done anything else before similarly, like shorts or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've done a whole lot of music videos. One of them you're in.
Breathe out.
Yeah, that's actually where I met you guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's fun. So you kind of got wanted to get a little bit more longer stuff, a little bit more creative stuff going on, and
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually where I first met Austin too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was kind of I think it was like was it just right before the pandemic? I can't remember.
I
Um,
might have been.
it might have been after because
Yeah. Yeah, because it was summertime, like right after the pandemic started, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't move back from Ohio until after the pandemic started.
Okay. Yeah, so that's when we met to like I was, looking to shoot some music video stuff for some songs that I had just finished and good old Doug signed up for the
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so Doug, what's your involvement with this project besides being invited to a hotel room?
Besides that being the most fun part. Well, um, I had nothing to do with writing. That was all Austin. And I was like, I read the script and I was like, well, holy nuts. I really like this. And whatever help you need, just let me know. And I've helped him try to, when there were missing pieces as far as producing, like, I helped fill those missing pieces. Like we needed an extra help for crew, we needed an extra person for casting, we needed a casting call, um, and those are the things that I did besides acting in it.
All right, very cool. That
Yeah.
sounds fun. What really appealed to you about the script when you read it? What drew you in?
What really drew me in is like the well, first of all, the jokes. I don't want to give anything away, but I want to say it so bad, but I won't. Um, the jokes are smart jokes. They're not like the
Not all of
but like you see a lot of like either slapstick type or just okay, so like my humor is really dry, but his in the film, in my opinion, is like next level dry.
So you really like the dry humor.
them.
Yes.
All right. Well, I like dry humor. That sounds right up my alley. And you're having a premiere for this soon, right?
Yes, we are.
November 4th, 2023. So in what, 5 weeks, I think? Is that? I'd have to look at a calendar to know for sure. But yeah, November 4th, in Sun Prairie at the Marcus Palace Cinema. And it starts at 3 in the afternoon. And we're gonna screen the movie, probably answer a few questions, and then afterwards there's a bar in the building, so we'll probably all go over there and eat food and drink beer or whatever.
Nice.
So you are you both Wisconsin filmmakers and
At
Yeah.
actors?
this point.
Well, yeah, for Austin at this point, I'll go back and forth between like here in Chicago sometimes, but like for the most part, yeah, Wisconsin.
All right. So you guys consider yourself locals of like if I say a local filmmaker, that's totally accurate.
Yeah, I live
Yeah.
here now. I've lived a lot of other places before here, but I've lived here for 6 years, so
Yeah. It's
I'm
always
local
my
now.
favorite having on like Wisconsin creative people, Wisconsin artists, Wisconsin musicians, Wisconsin filmmakers, just because I don't, Wisconsin isn't necessarily known for those things. So I want to show people what there is in Wisconsin, that we're doing some creative, fun, interesting things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. they're what is who's the furthest who's the artist furthest away from Wisconsin that you've interviewed? I'm just curious.
Um,
Is it like Russia or something?
I'm not exactly sure where everyone was, but I know I interviewed Lloyd Kaufman, who was in New
What?
York at the time, and some other people that we met that I don't know where they're from, but I met them at conventions. So they could have been from really far away.
That's still cool. I like that. Lloyd Kaufman though. It's
Yeah.
wild. Anyway,
Yeah. So after the premiere, what's your plan for the movie?
Well, that's kind of complicated because I don't know exactly everything that's going to happen. Bare minimum, I'll submit it to be, put on some things like Tubi and, you know, TVOD kind of or streaming video on demand stuff. Um, but I do have I sort of am in the beginning talks with a pretty big distributor, very, very big distributor. Um, they haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. They may think it's trash, but we'll see.
So you've got options. It'll definitely make its way out to the public somehow.
one way or
Yeah,
another. Yes.
I would like to release it now, but because of film festival stuff, I'm kind of waiting to see if it happens to make it in a couple of the bigger ones, and they don't. It's an interesting thing because I think it's kind of like a burden on small filmmakers to make them wait to start trying to recoup the money that they've spent, just so that for a chance that they might get into one of these film festivals, right?
Yeah.
Um, I understand that they want like to premiere or play films that haven't been all over the world and everyone's seen. But I think a lot of the filmmakers that are submitting are not all, but are newer. And I understand like the bigger ones that have $1 million budgets and stuff like that, like because they have some more means to get it out and have their film everywhere online. And I suppose at that point, but for younger ones or filmmakers starting out, it's kind of like, oh, I have to sit on this thing, and then not really know what's going to come because getting in those film festivals is a pretty big deal, and it could really help with distribution or whatever. So I don't know,
Yeah, so
kind
it's
of
a
a
little up in the air.
catch 22 there, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you've gotten a pretty good response from around this film already, right?
Uh, yeah, I mean, so far I started submitting to festivals, I think about 3 weeks ago now, and a lot of them don't decide for a while, either months, or some of them are like 3 or 4 months. Some of them start towards the end of the year, but so far we've won, I think, 5 awards, and um, we've been chosen for three different official selections, and New York Cinematography Awards. We're a semifinalist, but I don't know if that's I don't know. It says we're still in consideration, but I don't know if that means that they're still choosing or what. I'm not sure.
She's
That,
still wild.
that's really exciting though. So you within a few weeks you're getting a lot of response from people.
I'm getting some, yeah. It's kind of reassuring a little bit. I mean, it's hard to know, what you've created, whether or not anyone's gonna like it. So
It's
it's
true.
nice that at least like 5 people have liked it so far.
At least five.
that's a start.
We got that. At least five.
So what was the most fun about filming it?
What was it supposed to be fun?
There's always fun.
Um, I'm just kidding. Uh, there were a lot of laughs, that's for sure. It's a pretty good. The crew has a good sense of humor. The actors that were involved, there was a lot of joking around and stuff. Um, it was really interesting for me, I suppose. It was a little more stressful because I did a lot of the stuff, like I it was all my equipment, so I had to pack, except for the sound guy. I had to pack all the lights and all the costumes and all the set design and wardrobe and the food and all the camera equipment. So it was kind of all me. My 3-seat SUV was just like smashed from the front window to the back window full of stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
seriously, it was.
so it was, that in itself was a lot of work. And then we weren't able to get into the hotel room until 1 p.m. on the day we were supposed to shoot. So that was like a rush. And then it was like three of those bellhop carts full of shit that we had another hotel room and we had to wheel it up to the floor where the suite was and then unload everything and then set everything up. And so that was a lot of work. And then, once that all got done, then it was like, all right, let's get to it and started shooting. And so it was 3 very long days that it
Oh, so it's shot
that
in
we
3 days.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it
On
was a lot
on
of
the
work.
first day, it was only me as an actor, and so this is like February, right? February 2nd is February, early February, and so like
It was
the only
-2 degrees.
yeah, it was. Can I swear?
I prefer not because I'll have to edit it out, but yeah, you can if you need to.
It was really cold. And so so the first things we shoot are outside and I'm only wearing a button-down T-shirt. And we're like,
Okay.
all right, you got to throw your coat in this trash can because we're gonna burn the dumpster in the final product. And I'm like, okay. And so here I am just running around in just ooh, that was cold. But it was all right. It wasn't too bad because I was running.
It was terrible, don't lie. Uh, so what had happened there was that uh, the main actor dropped out the day of the shoot, said he got in a car accident, and so we had lined up a, understudy because we were starting to worry, and um, so the understudy couldn't be there that day. So we were still trying to, which actually in the long run kind of worked out okay because we really couldn't film that much that day anyway because it was -2 degrees outside
Yeah.
and the wind was blowing like crazy and it was terrible. I mean, it was
it,
horrible. I had on heated gloves and
it was
uh I gave him like, like heat packs to put in his gloves and so it was very unpleasurable, but we did grab a few shots that day just to like get a couple things that we knew we were going to need anyway that we didn't need anybody else for. I think we shot the library scenes that day and then some dumpster
yeah,
scenes or something.
yeah,
But yeah, mostly we didn't really we shot for just a couple hours and we were like, all right, screw this. Let's just go get our stuff in the hotel room and like start figuring out what we need to do to keep it going and make sure that the new guy that had the script for like 3 days is going to be able to do it tomorrow. Which I have to give big props to
yeah,
Matthew Kenner for coming through on that, and then also for doing such a great job
yeah. That was
with
pretty crazy.
only about 3 days to look at the script. And the script is a 50-page script. It's not the longest script, but it's a lot of dialogue because the the premise of the film is takes place mostly in a hotel room. So it's like two hitmen that show up and meet each other, and then they're like, "So what's up?" Like so.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of conversation. Two dudes kind of shooting the shit and trying to figure out who they are and all that stuff. So
yeah. Like what really happens the day before these guys are supposed to be doing their job that they've been hired to do, which it makes hitmen seem as normal a person as possible with how they prepare to do their thing and how they what the things that they think about while they're preparing to do said job, which is it's I like it. It's crazy.
Well, that's fun. So you had fun running around in -2 degree weather with no coat. You had fun packing all this stuff. It sounds like it was a real good time.
Yeah. No, it really
The
was. It really
lead
was.
actor had fun memorizing everything in 3 days. So,
yeah, it
but
was a shit show.
despite
I
everything, you
mean,
pulled it off. So, despite the weather and all the complications, seems like you really managed to pull off your vision a bit.
yeah, it was touch and go there for a minute, but we fortunately Doug knew this new Matt through a project he had worked on him with. So it was like we could see if this guy's available, and that worked out well. So then another guy the same morning also dropped out, and we ended up that wasn't quite as urgent because we had a few days. And the way I wrote the script, I wanted to keep it so that it wouldn't be as big of a deal if something happened so we could theoretically shoot it on another day if we had to, but we didn't have to because uh the sound guy and I think, Doug, did you know Aaron Rathbone beforehand?
Yeah, I worked on him on a couple things.
Yeah, so Aaron Rathbone came through in the last minute, and I think it worked out really well. He fit the part really well, and um he's got a big crazy smile. So that that fit for one of the lines in there, which was, so I wrote the film based on the people that I was going to put in the film, right? Like I included, details about them and stuff like that. Like it was specifically written for. So then in the last moment, trying to find people that also fit for those
Yeah.
was a little, we got lucky. We got lucky on that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you're happy with the way it turned out?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it turned out really well. I mean, I'm definitely proud of it, and I think it looks really nice, and yeah, I think it turned out well. I mean, it's a super low budget movie, so you're not going to see any explosions or, like not like a high action movie. There's a little bit. Um,
Yeah, the scene with Aaron, that was a fun one.
yeah,
The only action part of the movie, but it was fun. It looks good, I think.
yeah. It was you know, the it was a challenge, right? To just have an extremely small budget. I mean, like micro budget, and go like, all right, what can we do? And like write it for what we have available and stuff. I mean, it helped. I mean, we would have probably never been able to do it, but if I hadn't had, you know, a lot of the equipment, I've been slowly building up, equipment, lights and cameras and stuff like that, so that I could shoot things um, when I wanted, and also learning how to do a lot of the stuff so that I can just do it, and I don't have to worry about if someone else is gonna be available or paying a editor $750 a day or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I mean, so horror hosting just, is really lucrative, and I definitely have an unlimited budget, so I no idea what you're talking about.
right. So, and I mean, that's great, right? Like when you learn how to do it yourself, it's like that's such an empowering, like the freedom you have, and like you can sit there and make sure it looks as good as you can possibly get it. Whereas, like, unless you're paying 750 or $1,000 to an editor for his time that day, you're gonna probably get oftentimes questionable work, because oftentimes the people who are willing to do it for very little money are still learning,
Yeah.
right? And so um, you get kind of a subpar. So, it took me from February, what did we shoot it? February 4th, I think. It took me from then until about 3 weeks ago to be finished with it. And and that's like sitting and working on it for most days, at least 5 hours, if not 8 hours a day. So I
Yeah,
did all the
there are a lot of shots like from two cameras, including color correcting, sound design. It wasn't just like, you know, cut and splice and putting together and
Yeah, that's
Austin take over.
a lot of dedication. But you're right, when you're a smaller or more independent filmmaker, you have to be good at more than one thing. You have to
right,
kind of be
Yeah,
right,
able to step into any role, writer, director,
yeah,
producer, actor,
yeah,
camera,
right, yeah,
editor.
yeah. I think that's important, and um, you know, I'm glad that I was able to do it, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. I'm already working on ideas for another film.
yeah, dude.
Douglas Douglas will also be in Mr. Supreme.
That's
Um,
exciting. Speaking of Doug and doing a lot of things, Doug, can I talk a little bit about some of the many things that you've done? Because you're do quite a lot.
Sure. What's up?
Yeah, just I met you through doing, working with Austin, but also you've done like so many other things. We've shot other an SCP project together, which was really fun.
Yeah.
I see you constantly working on things, getting ideas. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you specialize in or what you mostly do?
I would like to think that I would specialize as a sound engineer, otherwise a producer. Um, I I've been working on sound for 2.5 years now. I'd like to think, but really, I like helping people and helping people, and by suggesting the best ways, in my opinion, to get their projects off of the ground. Like it's okay if there's no money if you do it right.
Hmm.
And just like with Sweet Killing Machines, there was a little bit, and I'm glad that Austin did it right. He did very well. It was
Yeah.
like it's really good. I like it.
So you
Uh,
really have a passion for the industry.
yes, yeah,
I can
yes.
tell. That shows it. So, Austin, speaking of what's next for you, do you want to talk at all about what the next project you're working on is?
Uh, no, I don't really want to discuss the idea. It it's different. It's definitely different.
But you got stuff in the works. You're like, this turned out great. I'm going to work on the next thing.
Yeah.
I did not burn myself out working 5 hours a day editing this thing every day.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that part was a little sucky, but you just have to look at it like every frame is a piece of art, right? Like you're
Mm.
painting a picture and just sit there and go like, all right, one at a time. We'll just get through it slowly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've got a couple other ideas that I think are uh very original. I've never ever seen a movie like them, and so yeah, I don't really want to talk about them until they're almost done.
That's fair.
Man, the internet is a wild, wild west of people just biting stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'll
Yeah.
watch one clip of something somebody did, and then I'll see like five more people do it, and I'm just like, dude, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Just
there's a lot of
dude.
people out there who have zero integrity when it comes to like trying to create something original. They're
Mhm.
just like, well, I saw that before. Let's do that. That got views.
Perfect. Do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
So
no one will notice.
if people want to find any info on your movie, let's say they can't watch it right now, but they want to keep track of film festivals it's going to be at, any screenings or where it's going to be, how would they go about finding this information?
Oh, well, you could go to facebook.com/ sweet killing machines, and we'll definitely post like, any awards and stuff like that. And as far as like festivals that it's submitted to, I don't know if there's really a way to track that or keep up with that because I'm sure it will change. I submit. I'm still submitting, I guess, but we're submitted to I think a total of about 61, I think, right now,
Yeah.
film festivals.
Which is wild.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a good enough project to like
So yeah,
just as well do it, right? Like
yeah,
spend time and energy.
yeah.
So
If you can't find anything that we're doing up to date on the Facebook page, you can probably find it on the Indiegogo page, which you can also look up by typing in "Sweet Killing Machines." And it does not. It of course it helps us if you donate, but that's not uh, the only way you can help us. Just by sharing it, it can be an incredible help just by getting the eyes on it. And
Okay,
that
yeah.
great. So
Yeah, and
just
that by
looking that
itself
up.
has interviews that we've already done and that you guys can check out.
That sounds great. And what if people want to individually keep track of your project? So, like, they want to see what you're doing next or what the next film you're working on, or Doug, what stuff do you do? Is there a way that people can kind of keep tabs on you, see what you're working on creatively?
Well, my Instagram is at ACTV Films, and Austin's is. Austin.
I thought you were going to tell him.
I was, but okay, it's at Austin Galante.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
Instagram's a good way to keep up with the creative things that you're working on.
yeah. The Facebook at slash Sweet Killing Machines is a great place to go for anything related to this. Um, as far as like what happens next, I mean, if you could friend me on Facebook or friend me on Instagram, probably more likely to like talk about. Well, obviously, you can't really talk about much on Instagram, but I mean, I guess I could post videos about it. Maybe I will like
Yeah.
my Instagram.
Plus, maybe there may or may not be memes coming out about the movie soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
you sound fun.
I
Yeah,
thought they were
there's
hilarious. That's just me, but I thought they were funny.
yeah, whenever it gets closer to time to put the movie online, however or wherever it gets distributed, whichever
Yeah.
option pans out, then yeah, we've got some stuff to help how to market it, I guess.
Yeah, it's really exciting that you have the premiere coming up real soon.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to do. We're trying to find sponsors for it at this moment. So if anybody wants to sponsor a movie premiere, uh,
Hello?
how's this thing on? Um, you could email me at austingalantefilms@gmail.com. And also, if you want to go to the premiere, you can email me there too and get tickets. You have to email me there to get tickets because the Marcus Cinema does not allow us to sell tickets through their website.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
there's a few more hoops to jump through for smaller
Hurdles.
filmmakers here. That's interesting. So,
Yeah,
but
they
yeah,
make
if
it
you want to support
pretty hard.
independent filmmakers, yes, go watch their movies, go to the film festivals, go see to premieres. That's in general a great way to support your local artists of all kinds. Go to shows, go to events, go to films.
We need
Do
it.
it. Like it.
And is there anything else you guys want to add?
Uh, let's see. Um, the soundtrack features Rick Ross, CeeLo Green, and Sean Kingston.
Yeah, dude.
Um, I did the scoring and the songs for the movie as well, and the sound design. Uh, you can let's see. Yeah, at this point, I think you can see promo videos a little more about it if you go to the Indiegogo page. Um, probably Indiegogo slash Sweet Killing Machines or SKM, I think, actually, is what it is. Um, but yeah, other than that, we haven't really put the trailers out yet until we get closer to releasing it. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Okay.
that's unless you have any questions about um
Anything, we're here for you.
Who has the
yeah.
dog? I heard a dog barking in the background.
It's probably Astro, my dog.
That's Doug Dog.
Okay, cute. Hi, puppy.
Oh, she can't hear you. I have headphones on.
Oh,
I'll tell her you said hey though.
okay. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk with me. This has been really interesting. I'm excited to see your film and learn more about it. So
Hey,
Yeah,
thanks for having
appreciate
us.
it.
thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And thanks. I didn't think that sentence completely through. My bad.
Oh, that's okay.